What's going on, guys? So I'm bringing you guys another Yu Yu Hakusho deck profile today. So this one, I'm not sure how well this actually works, but I always wanted to build a deck with all the little the charming personalities. So finally sat down and got a chance to do it, and this is just kind of just like a Ronin. What is it, like kind of like use case Fury, Gale Force, kind of just quick defeat your opponent kind of deck. So each one of these, they all have their own sideline effect that is stick together. So basically it says for each charming that you have in play, they gain 1,000 defense for each one. So they put themselves at some pretty high defense for sure. Hiei is actually the lowest one at 8,000, and then they each go up by 1,000. And then all of them have pretty kind of unique attacks. Hiei's is pretty good. I mean, it's probably got a usual base. I like to play him first since that's when your opponent's going to have the most cards in his deck. So usually it'll be like a 4,000-ish attack. And that's before any like attack boosters like Ulti Sacrifice and Use Case Alliance and stuff like that. So I play him first just because of that, kind of get a quick knockout in real fast. And then I go in between on which ones I want to do these at, because if I win this first match, I kind of want to do Yoko second, just because I expect my opponent to knock him out, my second character out a little bit faster, unless I can actually stop them with Solitaire or something. So I don't know, I had to play around with that and see which one. I've been going back and forth and trying situations, so use case is a little bit better. He's pretty good because his attacks gain 3,000 for each card your opponent has in his hand. So I mean, if we're going based off of how everyone's draw power is in this game, it usually should be at least like, I don't know, a couple thousand. So or like 2 or 3 at least in their hand. So that does it at least 9,000 for free because of Ulti Sacrifice and Use Case Alliance. So it's not. Seems good for sure. The Yoko one is okay. I did start realizing though that you can start attaching things to your opponent's characters too, because it doesn't limit it to yours. So I'm probably alright. That kind of makes his attack a little bit better, so that way you can kind of get the boost for it. So that's good. And then Kubara's is pretty good. Just lets you do an extra, how much attack is that? Extra 1,000 for each one, or for each item on him. So, or anything attached to him, not just items, sorry. So that's kind of what the characters do, and then I'm just going to go kind of skim through the deck real quick. Most of it's pretty basic as far as like just normal beatdown. So for Winner Circles cards, we have Ultimate Sacrifice. For most people know what it does, but just in case, what it says is all your fighters' attacks gain 5,000, and all the attacks cost 1 less, and then you have to win in 5 turns, otherwise you lose the game. Billionaire Wages, draw 3 every time you win a match, and your opponent draws 3 if they win a match. And then Use Case Alliance. So this one says, let's see here. During setup, if you don't have a team bonus, search your deck for this card and put it in the winner circle. And it says all your attacks gain 1,000 and cost 1 less. So it basically makes almost all my first 2 attackers free for their attacks, and then these 2 are fairly cheap, 1 and 2. So and that goes without me using anything else, because I also have Scattershot and stuff in here. So and then going into the actual main deck itself, we have 1 substitute. Both versions of I'm Calling You Out, so that's pretty kind of standard. I think I have 3 halts in here, so just kind of a staple to negate any events my opponent's going to play. 2 copies of Allied Forces. I really like this card, and it's good for Ronin decks like this. So it says all your attacks, let's see, if you have no team bonus, let's see, all your attacks gain 1,000, and whenever you do an attack, you get to draw a card. So that's really, really helpful. It makes a lot of your attacks started, like the first 2 attackers, they get like you're plussing off of an attack. Not only are you doing damage, but you're drawing a card, so that's awesome. And then for the other ones, it makes it to where you are basically paying like 1 or almost nothing. And then we have Kurama's Last Stand, Burst of Power, Bullseye, just for the fixing hands. 1 faces a Sensui. And then we got, let's see, 2 I Got Something For You to negate any solitaires or anything that, or halts that my opponent wants to play to mess up my combos. 1 Reckless Charge for extra attack gain just in case I need it. 1 Challenge of Wills because the card is good. 1 Use Case Fury. Let's see here. 1 Recuperation. Let's see here. I have 2 copies of Grim Determination in this deck. I just like it because it's a tech card, and if it's good because it can stop me from dying from my own ultimate sacrifice if my opponent is trying to stall me out or something, or if I know if I'm going up against like a king or something like that, and I know I probably won't be able to beat him in 5 turns. So it's just good to use against that, and it's also just a good utility card in general. It can discard other cards and deal points of damage, so it's a really good card. 2 Solitaire to hopefully save myself from my opponent doing overpowered things. 1 Banished to negate any floating effects. 1 Rando Appears because I do run the Suzaku cards just to get that extra draw power. Uncontrollable Power, yes, that's what that card is called, sorry. To negate all floating effects, dark artifacts, to search for Forlorn Hopes, Gale Force, which is another Use Case Fury, 1 Forlorn Hope, getting into the items now, Spirit Gain, 3 Demon Energy Scanners, and then going into the techniques, we have a Scatter Shot, 3 Meditations, and then 3 Energy Release, and then lastly we have 3 Suzaku. So I thought 3 was pretty good. I thought it would be a little too much, but it's just good to like start with him. I mean, why not? Why would you not want to start with him in +2? I mean, if you draw more than 1, you can just always discard it for an attack, so it's not that big a deal. And just in case my opponent's running, like Champion Driver or something that discards all match slots and stuff like that. So, or also just in case, because it's not bad to have a 5th match character, just in case somehow you're going back and forth against your opponent and you need that 5th match slot, so that way they don't beat you off of like a random sudden death or something weird. So, but yeah, that's the fun deck. It's probably not as good as like most normal like Ronin decks are, or things that run like Shura and stuff like that can just, and Hieis that can just do attacks because that's what their card says instead of having to use Case Furies and things like that. But it's just a little fun deck that I thought you guys might like and want to play around with. Naturally, there's always a ton of cards in this game, so I could have missed some. If you guys have any ideas, I'm always open. I got some pretty good feedback on the Raver deck, and which I really liked. I liked the idea of it. It was really cool. So if you guys have any questions or comments or anything, feel free to post. Other than that, you guys take it easy.